Well, at the recent MRO Middle East show in Dubai, there was a lot of talk about growth, there was positivity. Are we going to see wide bodies coming back the way that we hope they will do? Well, you know what I like to do on all this is talk to the experts. And I'm with Robbie Bourke, who's a partner with Oliver Wyman, who recently produced their whole report onto aviation, including MRO in the Middle East. So, Robbie, welcome to the program. So, Robbie, all good things come to those who wait. Have we waited long enough? Are we getting growth back, or is this just hope?
Hi, Alan. Yeah, look, it's a bit of a challenging situation at the moment. I think if we're looking at the immediate short term, there's lots of issues that we're seeing in the MRO market, particularly around supply chain, like you mentioned, but also around capacity, where matching capacity with demand is a real challenge for MROs and for airlines at the moment. But if we look over the longer term, then I think it's fair to say kind of it's back to usual in terms of growth for both fleet and MRO.
So you think, the Middle East is outperforming other parts of the world at the moment with its wide-body fleet returning. Is that really good positive signs for this whole market?
I think when we look at it regionally, a lot of the regional dynamics are driven mainly by government policies, by the reopening post-COVID, and we'll see that very different whether it's North America, whether it's Asia, so North America being ahead, Asia probably being behind, having had a little bit of a head start maybe in 2020. So in region, we're seeing that return, but kind of at modest rates.
Now, something I'd like to talk to you about, because I know you've talked a lot about it in the past, is urban air mobility. In a couple of years' time, are we going to be talking about air taxis and things here when we're talking about maintenance rather than A380s?
It's really interesting that we're here in Dubai talking about aviation in general and MRO specifically, and then mentioning urban air mobility. And I'll probably look at saying it's likely that Dubai and in Neom in Saudi Arabia as being the primary early movers when it comes to urban air mobility. My money is on yes. I think timing, of course, is still a question, largely driven by certification of vehicles, but there are certain early movers, and in this region there are more than in others.
So that's a lot to do with ambition, isn't it? And the idea that people are in touch with technology in the Middle East. So you think, public acceptance, is that going to really take off here?
Yeah, it is largely driven by that, but there's one other aspect which is about the lack of complexity in the infrastructure that you get in the Middle East, right? Because you look at London, you look at New York, and the complexity of the aging buildings and the aging infrastructure is a big challenge to be solved for urban air mobility. Because on the one hand, we have the vehicles, but on the other hand, we need the infrastructure in order to scale that. Now, I think we're going to see this kind of crawl, walk, run kind of idea play out very, very specifically within urban air mobility, where we start to see it happen. It's an opportunity for those that are privileged to maybe get first access. But that scaling has to happen quite quickly in order for the business models to work. And I think that privileged bit, is part that we'll see here in the Middle East, largely driven by that ambition.
So maybe we're walking towards it right now.
Yeah, I think if we come back here in 3 years' time, I think we'll certainly be walking. Maybe we're still at the crawl, maybe right now, but I think it's around the corner for sure.
Well, thank you, Robbie. We're looking forward to walking together into that future, because I think it's certainly going to happen. Thanks for joining us.